many people are remembering Queen Elizabeth today, including Ohio State University President Christina Johnson. She tweeted this, saying one of her best memories is when she met the Queen in 1983 when she was a graduate student. Dr. Johnson says she was amazingly gracious and kind. Well, CNN correspondent Riley Carlson joins us now from London this morning. And Riley, certainly the mood in London very somber as people mourn the death of the Queen, but also the rise of a new king. Kind of tell us what people are feeling this morning.
Good morning, Angela. That is sort of the bizarre thing about the monarchy. There is, while we mourn the loss of the Queen, it moves forward and there are still celebrations for her death while King Charles begins to assume his royal duties. Those will begin today as it's his first full day as monarch of this country. He's been spotted leaving Balmoral Castle en route to the airport to make his way back to London with the Queen Consort, where he will start those duties and kick them off. We're also expecting that we will see our first televised address from the new king later on today as well.
Riley, you know, Britain is beginning an official 10 days of mourning. It's very steeped in tradition. So can you walk us through a little bit about what will happen over the next 10 days?
Well, it all begins today, really. There's a 96 gun royal salute that's going to be taking place this afternoon in a couple of places around London. One round will be shot for each year of the Queen's life, and then we'll begin to see some ceremonies within the royal family, some names and titles being passed down and around while King Charles gets underway meeting the Prime Minister and members of Parliament and with his advisors as he assumes the role as this figurehead in the government here. And of course that will all accumulate with the state funeral for the Queen, which will be the huge celebration of her life and of her legacy here. But those details, although many of them have been meticulously planned, are being shuffled around a bit given that she passed away in Scotland, so different contingencies and logistics are in place. They'll have to, of course, bring the Queen back down to London for that state funeral. So all of those little details are currently being hammered out, and we're waiting to hear exactly when that state funeral will be. But the country right now is in a period of mourning, and it's likely that the royal family will take on a period of mourning that extends even a bit beyond that state funeral.
And speaking of the royal family, we have to ask about Prince Harry. We hear the family waited to announce the Queen's death until he had a chance to arrive at Balmoral and say his goodbyes. How significant is that given the tension with the firm?
I think it has less to do with the tension within the family and just, I mean, think of it as a family. It's very important for the royal family to be a unified front, even though some of the rifts in the family have been very well publicized. But at the end of the day, the Queen was very close with her grandson, and he continued to visit her even after he left his duties as a senior royal. And it sounds like they had a very close relationship. So it's less about sort of what's been happening in the public sphere over the last little while and what it means for the family to have him be able to come with the other immediate members of her family, with her other kids and grandkids, and be there for this important moment.
Time with us this morning from London. Thank you so much for giving us some insight into how things are happening there in London.